Today I'm going to show you how to do a double crochet, and just like my other videos, making a dish rag is a really good way to practice a stitch and get to learn it, because then you don't have to make anything big and it gives you a chance to practice, and it's still something you can use when you're done. So I'm going to start with a slip knot. I'm going to use a 5mm hook. I'm going to chain 44. You can chain whatever number you want. I have my chain of 44. This will make a very large dishcloth. So if you don't want to go that big and you're just practicing and you want to make it quick, I would maybe chain 34. So typically when you do a double crochet and you're doing rows like you do for a dishcloth, each row will begin with a chain 2, where your single crochet begins with a chain 1. So because each row begins with a chain 2, we will skip the first 2 chains so that when we do our rows, it acts as if it is our beginning chain. So in the 3rd chain from the hook, you don't count the loop that's on your hook. So the one next to it's 1, 2, and then 3 is where we're going to put our first stitch. And normally I would crochet in the back bump doing something like this, but it's easier to demonstrate a new stitch if I just go in through the front. So to do a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through 2 of those. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through the last 2. That's a double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go through the last. Put a stitch marker back in that first stitch that we did, so that when we come around we won't be confused as to which stitch to go into. I get to the last stitch and I have a tail that I want to try to work into the rows, I'll show you what I do. When I put the hook in and yarn over, then I take the tail and I bring it over the hook so that I can work it inside this stitch. So go through those two, the last two, and then the tail is on the top of that stitch. So it's easier to work into the row than pulling it from down here. So to start this row, we will chain 2, then we will turn, then start the double crochet in the first stitch, yarn over, insert your hook, and then I'm going to take that tail that's back there, I'm going to put that over my hook and hold it there. You don't have to do this. You can weave your tail in at the end. I just like to work mine into the stitches. You can go ahead and put your stitch marker in so you don't accidentally go into your chain stitches. We're going to crochet double crochets all the way over, and the last stitch in this row will be where our stitch marker was from the first stitch. Make sure when you go through your loop, you're catching the front and the back loop. I'm going to put that tail over, hold it down with my finger, Once you get several stitches of that tail worked in, you can go ahead and cut that off if you want to. So I'm going to keep crocheting my double crochet stitches all the way till I get to the end. And then you do the same thing we did here. You chain 2, turn your work, and then do your double crochets back. Do that all the way until you get the height of your project the same number as your width so that you can make a square. Because I was using leftover yarn to demonstrate this dishcloth for the double crochet, and I have to, it's not big enough, so since I'm going to make myself a dishcloth using just leftover pieces, since it doesn't matter what they look like, I thought this would be a good opportunity to show how to do color changes if you are making a project that has different rows of different colors. So if you wanted to do a dishcloth that was striped, and maybe you wanted to just do, you know, yellow, gray, this is how you would change colors at the end of the row and have it look straight. So if you do your last stitch, take your hook out, get your new color, make a loop, put your hook through the loops that were made for the stitch, not the loop that was on your hook. Leave that there. And then pull your new color through with the loop. And then take the color that you're done with and just pull it through. And then pull it tight, and then you will have a tail for your new color and a tail for your old color. Since I am done with this color and not going to do different rows, so I've got the two tails here. Gonna pull them tight so that my stitch is nice and tight. And then you can just start crocheting your next row, but you want to hold on to those two tails until you get them crocheted in. So I'm going to do my chain 2, then I'm going to turn, you may have to keep pulling them tight until you get them crocheted in. You can also tie a knot right there if you want, but you may be able to see the knot. So if you don't want knots to show, then you need to work it into your stitches. So I've got my chain 2, and just like you do with your regular rows for the double crochet, you yarn over, go through your hook, take your two tails, pull them over, and then continue to do your stitch. Just keep holding your two tails until you get them all crocheted in. Cut my tails off right there. Is how you can make stripes, or if you're just using up a lot of leftover yarn like I was, it's a really good way to give it a nice clean change. Okay, I finished my dishcloth. So cut and weave in your ends. I like to make a couple of knots just so that it does not come unraveled.